Okay, I was just talking for a while until I realized that my I'm muted. um, so I'm just a bit confused. Can you guys also see this section with the YouTube chat where there's just YouTube chat and no comments? Okay, now you can hear me, but the chat is not showing. Okay, perhaps I can just remove it. And hello. Okay, I'll just hide the chat and that's that. Okay. Actually, we are quite many. I wasn't expecting that. By the way, how is the music? Is it fine? Should it be louder or lower? Or yeah, just let me know. Then I can adjust it. But yeah, this is my first live stream. I'm super excited. I'm super stressed. I'm also sick, but I made it with a lot of medicine and garlic and honey and teas. But I'm here. But today I'm actually feeling a bit better, so I'm ready for the stream. Hopefully it will be nice and you will have some fun. I'm not sure how many of you are actually joining in with like creating this project together with me, but the main theme was basically to try and replicate something that I have here, because that's the project that I'm currently working on. It's an easy one, however, it takes a bit of time to actually prepare everything. So, and while I'm working on it, I was just thinking that it would be nice to actually do something together, because my partner, he has been telling me for ages that I should be trying to do some live streams as well. So I think it's all working out, kind of, apart from me being sick. But yeah, this is the pattern that we will be working on together, which I will try to explain. And then of course I will also try to engage with you as much as I can, try to explain everything in detail if there are any questions. And otherwise you're also more than welcome to ask questions about anything, mostly probably crochet related. But if there's anything that is interesting for you to hear from me, I would be happy to answer. And also, this is kind of a way for you guys to get to know me better. And yeah, hi, hello from Denmark. I'm actually from Latvia, if anyone is wondering, but living in Denmark. I can't see you though. So here, just kind of like a close-up of this pattern, or one of the panels that I have created. So you can see that this project is basically super nice for summer, because it has quite a lot of gaps within the pattern, so it's not like a warm winter sweater or anything like that. And especially if you're living in northern country as I am, then this is something that is actually quite useful for summer. And I just thought that it would be a nice design to also try and replicate, and to show you how you can do that. So I have created a couple of panels already. This one in particular is for arm. So here you can see it's actually in the other direction. As you can see, this would be coming together like this. So I have created it like that. This is one arm panel. This is the second one that I have already finished. And then I have created another one, which is this one, and that would be for the body part, either for the front panel or for the back panel. And that's what I'm going to do together with you today, or at least I will try to do a couple of rows, because those are the long ones. Even though it's easy, it is taking some time. Yeah, so that's what we are going to do. And just to also give you some kind of like explanation of how you can create this pattern on your own, because in the beginning, before I started to work on this project, I was kind of like trying to figure out like every single row, what kind of stitch it will be using. But I just like already after the second row, I realized that it doesn't make sense to prepare in advance, and it's so much easier to kind of do it free-handed, because you can see what kind of colors you should be using as you're going, as well as it's easier to figure out what type of stitch exactly you want to use, because some might look super long or some might be shorter. So I just like, if you want to do it on your own, it's kind of easier to just go completely YOLO and figure it as you go. But yeah, in terms of materials, here you can see I'm using different colors of 4-ply cotton. I just chose them to be in pink and purple shades, so these will be the ones that I'm using, but otherwise you're more than welcome to use whatever type of color or even material you wish. And besides 4-ply cotton, I will also be using this mohair blend, because it's kind of like going to give it a nice touch, and just like, yeah, a different material will stand out a little bit nicer as well for this type of pattern. And then in terms of materials, of course, you will also need a crochet hook. So I will be using 3.5mm hook, but otherwise, if you want to go with a thicker yarn, of course, then you just have to adjust the hook size, or if you're going with the same type of thickness of the yarn, you can also go a hook size up, perhaps if you want to have it more like a looser effect. So that's also like totally up to you if you wish. But to get started, as I said, I will be working on one of the front or back panels, and to get started we first have to create like the base. And basically you will just have to make chains so that it fits from one shoulder to the other shoulder. So this would be the width of the panel that you are creating. And here for my size, I'm kind of like a size small, so I will be doing 90 chains, and then at the end I will be doing 3 extra, and the amount of chains basically have to be an even number, and then these extra 3 chains that you do, that will give you an additional stitch, because it will count as 1 double crochet, because I will be doing double crochets for this first row. And yeah, so at the end you actually get an uneven number, and that is what we are aiming for. So here I already prepared them, because I knew that it will be very dreadful for you guys to just listen me counting to up to 93. So I just did it in advance, but if you are following along, then just feel free to do your stitches or chains, and then we can continue later with the first row. But also in terms of planning this project, kind of like when I was working on it, I was actually using my notebook, because that's kind of like my this year's resolution to get better with actually writing down with my hand things that I am planning to do, because I have noticed that on my phone or on my computer I always lose them, and those are the 2 places that are the messiest for me. So I thought that perhaps this will help me. And here I did the same, or I tried to do it for this project. So here basically I just draw a little sketch of how it will look. So super simple, what kind of materials I'm using. And then because even though it's free-handed, for the first panel that I did as a free-handed panel, I just made sure to write down every single row that I'm creating, because perhaps once you are done, it's hard to remember was it if it was treble crochet or double treble crochet. And I kind of advise to create them in the same way. Oh, from South Africa, oh my god, so far away. Hello. Nice to have you here. Yeah, so we can continue with the first row. So here I have all my chains, and for the first row, here you can also follow along, kind of. I will be doing double crochets, so I will just continue with the stitches that I have here. And basically for the first one, I'm just adding in 1 double crochet inside every single chain that I have here, starting from the very beginning. And just as a reminder, I have done for my size 90 chains, so 90, and then I did 3 extra, and these 3 extra are counting as 1 double crochet. So at the end, once I will be done with this first row, I will have 91 stitches in total. and that is the goal, because we want to have an uneven number, because later on for the other rows we will also have gaps in between the stitches. So in that way we are making sure that that we have one stitch in the beginning of the row and also one stitch at the end of the row. So that is what we are doing. And how do you guys feel? Is this something that you also want to create for this summer, perhaps? Or you're just curious to see how I'm doing my crochet? Because this project is like super free-handed, I will basically try to do a couple of rows together. Perhaps we can go up to row 5 or row 10, and I'm sure that after that you will just get you will know the drill basically of how to work on these rows. Yeah, this project it will definitely be super nice for spring and also for summer, because like especially in the evenings when it gets a little bit colder, then it's nice to have something that is like not super warm, and but still you feel like you have something on. And yeah, just as an extra little piece, at least I like to have something for the evenings. But also like it's super customizable. So in my case, I'm just creating like a sweater type of thing, but you could easily, instead of like creating one panel for the back and one for the front, you could do 2 panels for the front, and the front panels then basically work as a cardigan, and perhaps there can be like a strap that you can tie them together. Oh, that's so nice to hear that you have created a couple of things. I'm just curious what exactly, and which one is your favorite? Hello, Donna. That's nice. Yeah, I love it too. It's like the craziest, most addicting hobby ever. And like when I started, I didn't realize that crochet can actually be so expensive, because like the yarn is expensive. Like the first project that I created, I actually like the first ever like after like once I'm now an adult, I did quite a lot of crochet when I was in like primary school, because that was just something that we had to do as part of curriculum. I did it then, but of course it wasn't like nothing super extensive or crazy. But yeah, like when I started to do crochet now, like the first project I did was a bikini top, and like that doesn't take a lot of yarn. Perhaps I used like maybe one roll, so not more than 50 grams or like something like this, because yeah, it's just a bikini top. And I was like, oh wow, it uses so little yarn. I didn't spend anything like apart from time, of course. But then at the end I realized that yeah, like once you start creating granny squares and creating like bigger projects, it's just crazy. Because like yarn is expensive, and also depends on like what kind of materials you're using. Oh, that's so nice. Like super sweet from you. I hope everyone's okay. Yeah, like it's super expensive. Like sometimes, like when you think about it, like, but that's also how I'm trying to boycott like fast fashion and like not shopping clothes that much on my own. Like I'm actually not buying new stuff for myself. I mostly do like secondhand shopping because in my home country it's first of all it's super cheap and also you get quite a lot of good stuff. So whenever I go back home, I always go to secondhand stores, and that's where I buy clothes if I need them. Otherwise, I try to make them on my own because, like, when I'm thinking about like how much we have to pay for yarn, and then like how can a sweater in H&M cost like I don't know 2 2 euros like once it's discounted, and like knowing that someone actually had to made it and like machines and shipping it from one place to another, like it just doesn't add up. But it's expensive, but I would rather make it on my own instead of supporting buying clothes from elsewhere. But yeah, otherwise, secondhand shopping is my go-to. But super expensive. Like that's also one of the reasons why I always opt in for cotton, because cotton is, I think, the cheapest one, and also like it's more natural. I really don't like buying that much that much of like polyester or acrylic yarn because yeah, I just don't like it. It doesn't feel nice. It also doesn't give you like the extra warmth that you would be looking for if you create a sweater. But yeah, I opt in for cotton most of the times. It's a bit cheaper as well, of course. It depends what you're making at the end, but yeah, yeah, thrift stores are so amazing. Like sometimes I can't believe like that there are things that people throw out and that they are in such a good quality. I'm getting close to the first row, to finishing it. And by the way, for this project that I'm working on, in total, I'm using 13 different colors, and we also like two of them are different materials. So it's very colorful, and like the main reason for that is because I couldn't figure out like how much materials exactly I will need, because for me it's always like yeah, super free-handed, so I'm not planning that much in terms of materials. Um, but yeah, that's why I was like, okay, I have to use as many colors as I can, because in that way I'm avoiding that I will run out of one of them. Because it's also a pain to just buy new new skein of yarn if you only need just a little bit. Oh, thanks, thanks. This sweater, if you mean this one, I made it actually in the very beginning of January, and yeah, I was visiting home for Christmas, and my mom, she had bought me some yarn, and I was like, okay, it was the time like I wanted to create this type of sweater for super long, and basically it's like it's very simple one. It just uses 4 huge granny squares, and then they are just connected together. Okay, so here I have finished this first row, and this is how it's looking so far. And also, yeah, basically you can see that already. So for every single row, I will be using a new color, and then our next color is going to be this lighter pink. So let me just double check against the panel that I have already finished, because that's also an important thing to make sure that you're using exactly the same color. So yeah, I will be using this lighter pink. And for the color change, what I normally like to do is just here where I have the very last stitch that I just did, I just go one step back basically when I have two loops on my hook, so just completing like right before completing the double crochet. And the way how I change color is just by tying this new color that I want to use just around here, around this existing color. I just make a knot, and then I push this knot closer to the crochet hook like this, and I just make sure that it is secure. And then I'm just completing this stitch by using the new color, so yarning over and then completing it like this. And then I'm just continuing with the new color, and then like normally you can just cut off the old yarn, but I also just realized that I don't have my scissors here. I left them somewhere on the couch, so I will grab them later. But yeah, for the second row I am using double crochet stitches, and I think it's double crochet, so let me just double check in my notebook. Yeah, so for the second row I'm using double crochets, and then after every single double crochet I will be chaining one and skipping one. And in the very beginning, so for like, we don't want to do additional double crochet in the very beginning, and we like, what I want to do is just do some chains, and then those chains will count as double crochet, because sometimes it's easier like that. And that will be our first stitch, so I'm just gonna chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and this chain of 3 counts as one double crochet. And then we are just turning our work, and because this counts as one double crochet, we are also going to like skip this first stitch, and then we actually have to skip the actual stitch to make a gap, and for that we also have to chain one. So actually in the beginning we are just chaining 4, and then we are skipping these first 2, and then starting from the third one, this is where we are adding one double crochet. So I hope this is not overly complicated, but basically one double crochet, then chain one, skip one, another double crochet. So I'm going in the next one, and that is where I'm adding double crochet like that, and then again chaining one, skipping one and double crochet like this. And in this way we are creating these nice gaps. I'm just also putting it here, and that will already start to create like the lacy effect. Hello Tracy, nice to have you here. Okay, I'm just continuing with this second row and doing one double crochet, chain one, skip one, one double crochet. Hello, hello. Yeah, it's good that I scheduled this stream for today, because like now in a hindsight, like if it was yesterday I was feeling very bad. I had not like the craziest fever, but I did have like high body temperature, and I was like, this is like, because I got sick around Wednesday, and it was like, it wasn't like the craziest fever, but I was thinking, oh, hopefully it will end soon, and it wasn't that bad. But then yesterday I think that was like the worst days of all, like throughout this being sick this time. But thankfully today it's much better, and tomorrow I should be totally fine, if not totally then like 80%. nice about the sunflower bag. That will be like super summery, springish project. Yeah, I'm actually like, I'm still discussing with myself to pick up another like granny square project. I have done a couple of like, of course this is an easy one, this sweater, because it only has 4 granny squares. But for example, the sunflower cardigan that I made, it has like 54 granny squares in total. And before you start making them, it sounds like, oh, it's not that much, but like it is a lot. And then at the end you also have to connect them. But yeah, at the moment I want to do like a retro granny square, a retro daisy granny square cardigan, but I'm still discussing with myself like if I have it in me to actually make so many granny squares, because it takes a lot of time. But I'm sure I will do it. And actually I have it just by here. I can quickly show you just right after this stitch. So a while back I made this retro daisy granny square vest, and actually it has some folded squares, so it looks like this. And now I'm thinking to also make something like kind of the same style, with every single granny square being in different color scheme, but to make a cardigan. And I think that would be like super nice spring type of project. So yeah, I just have to get some courage to actually do that. But it's also crazy, like once you start creating crochet content, and like even if you're not creating crochet content, like if you see other people creating it and you're like, oh, this looks nice, that looks nice, and you just want to create everything, but it's actually quite time-consuming hobby. And over time I have like started to do so many projects already. Yeah, I just don't know when I will have time to finish all of them, but I'm kind of also powering through. And I want to get to that stage where I have finished everything that I have started, and then like start with a clean slate where you're just able to actually think straight and like not worry about like what is being sitting on the other end of the couch where all of my crochet things are sitting, to figure out what to create next. And I'm getting close to also finishing this second row. So it is going quite quickly, I would say. Oh yeah, green and yeah, that color mix is like super nice. Yeah, actually another bucket hat is on my list as well. I have created one that is with granny squares, but now I just want to create like one that is just like round, and that's it, like with one color. But perhaps, yeah, actually like checkered board, that would be nice to have it like a color mix. And okay, so here I am at the end, almost at the end of this row, and I have completed this double crochet. So now I just have to chain one and skip one, and then here I'm at the very end. So this chain of 3 that we, like the 3 stitches that we skipped from the previous row, so this is where I'm adding the very last double crochet of this row, like this. Also the close up here. Yeah, so now again we can change color, and actually in this case we are also changing material. So in this case, now I'm switching to this mohair blend. You can see this purple one. So we will be switching to this color and that material. So it's this one. It's super soft actually, because mohair, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, it's meant to be, or like everyone says that it's quite itchy, but this one I can promise you that it's not or it's not as itchy as the other ones that I have tried. And that is from Hobby. It's their kid silk yarn. I think the brand is called Friends. Yeah, it's from Hobby. Okay, so here I have attached my new color and new yarn. So now again I'm just completing this very last stitch with the new color, and that is what we are doing. Yeah, question about the YouTube channel. How did I start it off? Actually, I've been hustling around YouTube and social media for a while. Crochet wasn't my first thing that I tried out. At first, I was actually, I think you can still, you're still able to find some old videos. I was actually doing quite a lot of recipes. So I was creating, yeah, recipe content, vegan recipes in particular. I had a channel, like I have this channel, which is everything in English, but I also had a channel that is in Latvian. And then like it was, my channel didn't get off in English that well as it did in Latvia. And then I was mostly focusing on just creating content for Latvian speaking community. And I had also actually published a vegan cookbook, which I can show you someday, or maybe today. But yeah, first I started with recipes. I tried to do also some product reviews. From time to time I do that as well. But then it just happened that I just started to do crochet randomly because, yeah, I just wanted to create this one bikini top for summer. And then I was like, oh, wow, this is fun. This is a nice hobby to have. And then I was like, why not try making some patterns on my own? And I tried that and it didn't work out. And then I just continued because it was quite fun. And I think I also quite enjoy, like I enjoyed the crafty part of it. But I also enjoy the like the teaching part of it, because I feel like I'm quite good at teaching and explaining things in a simple way. Maybe not always, but most of the time I am, and it's nice to help others and to create like learning materials for other people who want to get cozy, stay at home, do some crafts, create something nice for themselves or for their friends or family. And yeah, at first it wasn't a crochet channel. At first it was recipes and some random things, which is funny to look back. But yeah, that content is still live. And like from time to time on my personal Instagram, I also try to do some recipes, but not that often. If I was nervous to start doing it, I don't think so. But let me start this row and then I can continue chatting. So for this row, I will be doing treble crochets, and treble crochets will go inside every single stitch and every single space. So for treble crochet, we first have to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this chain of 4 counts as one treble crochet, and then I'm just turning my work. This counts as a stitch, so we are skipping the very first one, and then in the following one we are starting to add actual treble crochets, and in the first one it is going inside the chain 1 space, and then in the next one it is going on top of the stitch. So here I have completed a couple of them, And then if you're not familiar with treble crochet, you just have to yarn over twice, then go through the stitch, grab yarn, pull up to have 4 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2, like that. So this is how it looks, and also a close-up here. Yeah, about the YouTube channel, I don't think I was stressed, because like, what is the worst thing that could happen? Nothing. Like, the worst thing is that no one sees your video, and if you were stressed, then that's nothing to be stressed about. And the most important thing is that you actually enjoy what you are doing. So if you're enjoying what you are doing, then it's fine. And I don't think that there's nothing to be stressed about, because you're doing it on your own. It's, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't stressed because I was kind of like trying to be positive, and like, first of all, it's for yourself, that if it works out, it's great. If not, then at least you tried and you know how it was, and you won't question yourself if it's going to go well or not. You know that you tried it, and that's one thing that you completed. But like in the very beginning, like my inspiration to actually start doing something on social media or YouTube was basically because I finished my studies, and it was time for me to look for a job. And I finished studying marketing, and the thing is, like, once you finish studies, you have no experience doing whatsoever. Like, I was a cleaner when I was studying, and I didn't want to be a cleaner. I wanted to do something in my field, and I realized that no one is going to hire me without any experience. And like, kind of like social media, YouTube, and managing, creating content, it is kind of like in line with marketing. So my motivation there was to just try to get some experience on my own while I'm looking for a job, and then let's see if I actually enjoy doing it. And then it's like kind of like, it helped me a lot also for my CV, because when I went to interviews, I was able to say that I have some hobbies. I try to do something on my own. I try to like learn things, because it's not just like managing social media, it's also like content creation, and like it just shows also in a way that you are open-minded to do something more like entrepreneurial, and like you kind of have courage to do that. But I can only advise you to do that. Like, nothing bad can happen. Just try it out for one small video. You can even just create a short and post it on YouTube, or even try it out on Instagram or TikTok, where you can create like shorter videos. Like, get familiar with like how to edit videos if you enjoy that part, because that's kind of like a big part of having a YouTube channel in general, because it takes a lot of your time. You also have to be a little bit creative. Depends like what kind of content you want to push out. So definitely try it out. Yeah, nothing to be scared about. If you don't have courage now, you will have it later. It will come. So here's my progress so far of this row, and you can see that it gives like a quite nice fluffy effect for this when using this type of material. Yeah, the only problem with this type of yarn is that it's It's quite tricky to work with because it's so fluffy and also quite thin. Like, even though it's suggesting to use, I think it actually like suggested to use like 5mm hook, but I was like, it will also work with 3.5mm hook. But it is very fluffy even though it's thin. And then like the worst part when you try to unravel it is that it's like kind of gets stuck and tangled up with itself. So that's the minus part. So if you work with this type of yarn, then just don't do any mistakes because it's hard to get out of them. One thing that I want to get for my like crochet equipment is actually like a nice yarn holder. I know that some yarns you can just like grab that starting point here from the middle, and then it's easier to manage it, but I kind of like to do it like starting from the outside part. And yeah, it's sometimes it's a little bit annoying because I always have to like twist my arm and to get some new yarn. So I think like that would be a nice investment at some point. But I'm also that kind of person who I don't want to get all this equipment because then I also have to figure out where to put it, and I already have so much yarn like stocked up everywhere, and then like thinking about like yarn holders it will just fill up my our apartment even more. But I don't even have like a yarn bowl. I'm not sure how good are those because I still imagine that you would kind of have to pull it like once it gets stuck. Like the good thing is that it's not like running away. That's also a problem because for me like I pull it a couple of times and then it like falls off my couch or something. But I have never used like a yarn bowl kind of thing, so I don't even know. Like actually like my crochet equipment is very basic. I only have like the hook sizes, like all sorts of hook sizes that I need, a lot of different yarn, and then some stitch markers because those are quite useful for different types of projects. Yeah, I think I didn't realize how stitch markers are useful in the very beginning, and like actually at the very beginning I didn't even want to invest in stitch markers because I was just thinking that I will lose them all. But I've been quite careful with not losing them. But in the very beginning I was using just a couple of like safety pins that where you can close the end. So if you're like me and you don't like to buy stuff that can get lost very easily, there are loads of different ways that you can use as stitch markers as well, like even though it's like such a simple, easy, cheap purchase. But yeah, I'm quite actually happy with this stream. Like this is my first one. I was a bit worried that there won't be any people at all, but it's so nice to see like quite many of you here. I didn't expect that. Oh, and actually like another thing, I was just talking with my fiance earlier. Like this is such a good timing for this stream. Like everything is a good timing apart from me being sick for today, but like it's a good timing because my channel is just about to get 60,000 subscribers, and we are very close. Just 1 second, I can also show it on my stream here. Oh, that's not that. Here you can see the numbers are changing. Oh, 73, so only 27 away, which is crazy. I remember last year around this time I maybe had, I don't know, 5 or 6,000. I don't know. I had it, no, not that few. It was around 20,000, I think. So it's growing quite quickly. But yeah, just 27 away. I mean, the numbers are not like scrolling with like craziest speed, and like if I put it here, I don't expect that I will reach 60,000 during this stream, but if I did, that would be so freaking amazing. Oh, about followers, like you will get them eventually. Like, first of all, if you, yeah, when you start a new channel, you won't have any followers at all. I also, like, I didn't create this channel and then get 60,000 at the very beginning. It's not like that. I've had this channel for like I have been doing crochet for a couple of years. I think it's 2 years intensely, like quite intensely, like creating content very frequently, and then like 1 extra year where it was more like, oh, let's test it out. But like, don't worry about subscribers and viewers or followers. They will come, and like think about it, about yourself. Like, you're doing this channel for yourself. It's something that you want to do as a hobby probably, or it is one of your hobbies that you want to share with others. So just think about yourself. And then like the first subscribers and followers that I had, those were my friends and family, so you will have those. I can also follow you if you create one, I promise. Just let me know what will be your channel. But they will come, like as soon as you start creating content, you will get some. Like someone will find you eventually. No worries about that. I think there's nothing to be scared about. Like literally, that's the worst thing that could happen. I mean, like not. I try to say it in a positive way. Like that's nothing bad. The good thing is to just try it out, because if you don't try it out, then you will never know. And for some people, like some people have managed to get a lot of followers and subscribers like super quickly. It all depends on the, like, first of all, it depends on the quality of the content that you're creating, but then like algorithm and all those sorts of things, they play quite a lot of important role as well. Because like sometimes I have created, in my opinion, like the coolest project, like the best video ever, and then it doesn't get as many views. So that's just part of the process, right? And yeah, the most important thing is just to enjoy the process itself as well, I think. And I'm getting close with also finishing this row. So already the third one. So here where I'm at the very end, if you remember the very first chains that we did here in the beginning, we did 4 chains, and 3 of them counted as 1 double crochet, and then the 4th one was chain 1 space. So now to finish off the last stitch, we want to add it in the 3rd chain here. So I will just try to go through this 3rd chain, and this is where I'm placing the last stitch, this last treble crochet of this row, like this. And then I'm also not finishing it fully, so here I have the last 2 loops on my hook, and that's where I'm attaching new color. And for row 3, I will again double check my notebook. So for row 4, we are actually at row 4, I will be doing half double crochets. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, I know how to crochet, but sometimes it's hard to differentiate what is what, but it's good to double check. And then for this 4th row, I will be using this color, so you can see it here, and just also double checking that it's exactly the same shade, because that's also important. And yeah, then just changing it and attaching it in the same way as before. I know that this is kind of like a scrappy method for changing yarn color, but you can also do it in different ways. I just somehow I learned it in this way, and then I just stuck with it because it also feels quite safe. Like sometimes I'm freaking out that something will unravel. So for the 4th row, I will be doing half double crochets. And to start this row, first we are chaining 2, 1 and 2, and this counts as 1 half double crochet, and then we can turn or work and start with the 4th row. And because these 2 chains count as a stitch, we are also skipping the first one and then starting from the next one. That is where we are adding, or like official first half double crochet. And for half double crochet, you just have to yarn over, go through the stitch at the bottom, then grab yarn, pull it up to have 3 loops on your hook, and then just yarn over and pull through all 3 of them like that. So it's a super simple stitch, and it works up very quickly. Like sometimes I feel like I prefer doing half double crochets instead of double crochets, because it has more volume in terms of length compared to single crochet, of course, and then it's also easier compared to double crochet. But I mean, that's such a silly thing to say. Double crochets are longer. But yeah, this row will work very fast. And I hope that this is actually useful, that I'm doing a project together with you, because I have, like in the past, I have thinking to do the same about like creating a granny square together, because like sometimes people are asking questions in the videos where I have posted granny squares, and sometimes there are like extra questions that I'm thinking that I could have been able to also answer them live if I was doing that together with you. Like if there is a issue with, for example, magic ring, or why do I have so many stitches, or yeah. But I also feel like for that it would be, I don't know, maybe in the future YouTube will have like an option where you can see other people and then kind of like a webinar or something. I don't know, maybe I should start doing like Zoom calls. But yeah, definitely if there is an interest in having more live videos with like actual projects, or perhaps like remaking some of the granny squares that are already on my channel, I would be super happy to do that. And like the idea with this top that I'm working on is just that, yeah, I thought it would be nice and it would be fun, because it works up fast, it's easy to explain, and yeah, I have started it and been working on it for a while, so perhaps it's useful. No, I don't think it ever happens that anyone has anyone like At least in my case, it's always been like, it cannot be. You cannot have anyone in the beginning, but like in my case, it's always been that first you just share it with your friends and family, and then they are your main supporters, and then like eventually you get some. And like I'm not sure about like your case, but like if you also use Instagram or like other platforms, that is also where you can of course promote your channel, and you can get some audience from there as well. No worries. I'm happy to help. The more the merrier. And like also because there are so many different things you can do with crochet, I feel like we could never run out of patterns or different things to create and teach others. Like that's one good thing about technology, because it allows you to share a lot, and others can get some piece of it as well. I actually made a tea, which I totally forgot about, and it's probably like super cold already now. Yeah, I have quite a lot of tea and coffee mugs where I have different places on them. Like this is from one of the cities in Denmark where I used to live, and I think like this tradition, like I'm not that passionate about it, but like my mom, whenever she goes to a new country, she always buys a new mug with either like the specific place that she enjoyed from her holiday, or yeah, just the country itself, or like something that symbolizes the place that she went to. And she has so many mugs. Like she travels quite a lot. Sometimes I'm surprised that she's able to do that, but like that's so cool that she does it. But like she has this insane collection of like different coffee mugs, and like there isn't even like a place in her kitchen to store all of them, so she's also keeping them in the cupboard that she has in the living room. But yeah, like sometimes when I've been to like in places where I have lived in not too many, but like a couple of countries outside, and then it's a nice memory to have. I feel like kind of like a magnet, but like actually me and my partner, we try to create like not collect like, but buy magnets for fridges. But now in the apartment that we are already living for almost 5 years, the fridge that we have, it doesn't have like like it has a cover, so we are not able to put any magnets on the fridge. So I started to send postcards after every holiday that we are having. And I think that's a nice tradition as well. And here I am at the end of the 4th row. And here this half double crochet, which is the last stitch, and it's on top of the 4th chain from the beginning of the previous row. So here this half double crochet, I'm not completing it. Here I have all 3 loops on my hook, so the last yarn over to be done, and that's where I'm attaching new color in this case. And just checking this pattern, so the next row is going to be super long one. Let me show you. So here you can see this is the fifth row that we will just start working on, and it's a very, very long one. So actually that is, I don't even know what exactly is the name of that row, but I did 4 yarn overs when creating it, and this is the color that I will be using for that one. So again, 4-ply cotton, and I'm just attaching it here, and then I will explain you. So this is the first row where we will have like a lot of gaps, and it will also give us a lot of volume, and it's a nice one because with this row you will also realize that you're able to, like, if you want, you can complete this top like super quickly because it will create so much volume immediately. And like if you did a couple of rows like that, you're like immediately building quite a lot of length for the panel that you're working on. So here I have completed this last stitch with the new color as well, and now we are starting with the fifth row with this huge double crochet, not double crochet, I don't know how to call them, but because it has 4 yarn overs, it's technically treble crochet. So first, to get started, we have to do some chains, and for this one in total I will be doing 6 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and these 6 chains we can now turn or work, and these 6 chains are going to count as one treble crochet as well as the chain of 1 from the very beginning. And then to get started, I'm just yarning over 4 times, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then we are skipping the first one and then also the next one, because that's kind of like the skipped stitch in between the stitches, and then in the following one we are doing this treble crochet. So in the same way as like double crochet, but we are doing just yarn overs after like every 2. So yarning over, then pulling through 2, yarning over, pulling through 2, pulling through 2, pulling through 2 and pulling through 2. So 5 times in total. Then after that we are just chaining 1 and skipping 1 again. 1, 2, 3, 4 times we are doing yarning over, then skipping the next stitch, and in the following going through, grabbing yarn and pulling it up. And in total we are having 6 loops on our hook, and then just yarning over and pulling through pairs of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, like this. So here I have created a couple of them. This is how it looks. So you can see already almost like the height of these stitches are almost the same as we have for the previous rows in total that we have created. And then after that, just continuing with doing the same thing. Just how to remember to yarn over 4 times, because like sometimes it's also like with these stitches, since every row is different, you kind of have this muscle memory where you forget what exactly you were supposed to do. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So yeah. And also I have noticed for myself that sometimes, yeah, you just kind of like zone out. So with like things such as like stitch markers, or like stopping once in a while and like actually checking like what you have done so far is a good thing, because it's quite easy to make mistakes, which is okay, but of course it's painful when you do so. But I think every crocheter is familiar with having made some mistake and like unraveling rows and rows and rows of project that was almost done. But I'm also that kind of person who, like, if I notice that there was a mistake, I just cannot unsee it. For me, it's so hard. And like, I mean, in most cases, like, no one probably would have seen it anyway, so, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be, sometimes, a perfectionist. And actually with these like super tall stitches, I have another project in mind, but I don't want to give too many spoilers here. But stay tuned. Something will come. Yay, 75. 25 to go to 60k. I hope that at some point in the future that I will be able to just do crochet for my living, but I'm also scared. I'm not sure if I have it in me. But like, that's a dream. Like, if I can think of one thing that I would like to, it's that. And like, actually, like, if I can tell you also kind of like a story time. Last year it was in August, I decided to change jobs because like I'm not there yet. I'm still like, I still have to work full time besides creating all of this content. So just in case if people are thinking that I'm already doing just this, that's not true. Still working full time and only doing all of these crochet projects when I have free time or on the weekends and in the evenings. But yeah, actually, like last year, I decided to change jobs and I accepted a job which was a fixed term contract, which is actually ending June 15th. And like that was the plan. Like I was so ready and so prepared that that will be it. Like once the contract ends, I'm out. But like now it's coming closer and I'm too scared. But I don't know how it is about you. Like sometimes it's also hard to say goodbye to the corporate world, because like for myself, I also feel a bit confused because I want to do my crafty things and my projects and like things like that full time, but then at the same time I also want to like climb the corporate ladder, get promotions, I don't know, like get, I don't know, better at the job that I'm doing. Yeah, the best case scenario would be to get two people, like two persons of myself who are able to do both things, but yeah, have to choose. $76. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to happen during this live stream, but I think tomorrow I will wake up with 60k. Fingers crossed. So here is how it's looking so far. Almost like getting closer to the end, like because these stitches are longer, it's also taking longer to create them. I'm quite excited actually to finish this project. I think it will be super cute with all the color mixes. And like I'm quite into pink. I don't know how it happened and when exactly, but like out of a sudden, like actually it's been going on for a while, but like out of a sudden I started to like get into pink color a lot. Everything that I want to create has to be pink, or what I want to buy kind of has to be pink. And it's not like I'm wearing a lot of pink things. I just like whenever I see something pink, I'm like, I have to try it out. But yeah, I got this yarn actually for Valentine's project, and then it just made sense, and I was like, this is my perfect opportunity to make something pink, and also with some purple. Yeah, and then I got a lot of yarn leftovers, and I was trying to think of like what I could create, and I had all these different colors, and like this is perfect project for mixing different colors. Like as I said, I have loads of them in here. It's 13 different shades in total. But that's what's making it fun. And I think for each panel, each color isn't repeating more than 4 times in total. I think some of them are even just like twice maximum. Yeah, pink's the best. But I'm quite into blue shades as well, and I feel like blue suits me quite well. Yeah, it's like when I have to find something, I know that like blue is my safe option to go. And also, I can show you some spoilers, like something that will be coming up on my channel soon, that I'm also working on and trying to finish. So the theme of this project is to create something inspired by horoscope, because I'm taking part of one of the challenges, and I just basically wanted to again mix and match different colors. So I'm working on something that is like this, and like it's quite similar actually, like in terms of stitch switches and color blends and so on. It's quite similar to this project we are working on, but yeah, I'm quite excited to share more about this with you. Actually, on my channel, I have already shared how to do this stitch, so if you are interested in doing it or learning how to do this wavy pattern, you can already find the stitch now on my channel. But like, I'm working on creating different panels at the moment. I'm like this close to finishing the last one, so I think you can expect something on my channel maybe end of next week. we'll see. Yeah, but like getting sick this weekend definitely set back my timeline. Because like, yeah, whenever, like, because I'm still working, whenever I have free time, it's always dedicated to doing crochet. And yeah, when you get sick, like, it's also, it sounds like you're just laying on the couch and like doing nothing, but like your body is super tired and you don't have that much energy to just lift your hand. And I mean, like, crochet doesn't take a lot of energy, but you still have to focus and like be focused, and that's not that easy like when you're sick. So yeah, definitely not fun times. I hope this is the only time this year, or like this spring, because it must have been like some sort of like seasonal thing. But I hope all of you are healthy and safe, and you don't have to worry about it. Because like I was like so hoping that I will escape getting sick this spring, because yeah, actually now the weather is getting better, and like it's getting sunny, and the days are longer, and I was like, yeah, like the first sun is always the tricky one, I think. Of course, I'm speaking about the northern countries. I'm not sure how it is when you have summer all year round. Haven't experienced that for all year round. And sometimes barely during the summer. Yeah, oopsies. Made a mistake. And I'm almost at the end, so here I just have the last stitch left. And in this case, I'm placing it on top of the chain 2, which was in the beginning of the previous row. Hey, hi, Stitch Twist. What a cool name for YouTube. Okay, so here this 5th row is completed, and yeah, the last stitch, again, just the same thing. I'm just going one step back before completing it, and that is where I'm attaching new color. So for the next row, let me check. For the next row, we have this lighter purple, so that is what we are going to attach. You can see it here, it's this one, and it looks like double crochet, but I'll just grab my notebook to double check. Yes, it's double crochet. I'm right. I know the stitches. And just double checking it's the same shade, and it is. Yay, we can attach it. That's amazing. I'm glad to hear that, yeah, happy to hear that you have started it, and happy to hear that it's helpful. I think that's like the biggest thing that helps, like, makes me stay motivated. Like all the feedback that I can hear from you about the content that I'm creating, that it's helpful. I know that like my channel is quite focused on supporting beginners in particular. Like I try to explain like all steps like within the project as much as I can, because I know that there might be questions later, so I kind of try to prepare in advance to make sure that I already answer questions before they come. But definitely trying to stay beginner friendly, because I can imagine how difficult it is that you have just started, you want to create something, and then it's not explained, and then you feel like you have to give up. So I don't want anyone to give up on crochet. Oh, perfect. Thank you for that comment. I'm glad to hear that you're not giving up, because that's why I'm here. I'm glad to hear it's helpful. I just keep on smiling. Yeah, for this row, we are adding double crochet, so similar as before. We just have to start with the chain of 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and this chain of 3 counts as double crochet. So now that we turn or work, this double crochet, we consider it as a stitch. So it's actually kind of like in place of this first stitch that we have here. And then I'm starting to add in the next one. In this space, I'm just adding a double crochet. So, and then it goes inside each chain 1 space, as well as on top of each stitch that we have. So 1 double crochet on top of stitch, and then the next one in the gap. So why I prefer cotton? So first of all, I feel like cotton has this, like, even from the look of it, it just gives more natural look on like anything that you're working on. So that's one of the reasons. Yeah, like the natural look. I'm also not a big fan of like acrylic yarn or polyester or all of those, because like they don't look natural. Like some of them of course are nice, like the fluffy effect or like those sorts of things. Like once in a while I do buy them, but like I try to avoid as much as I can, or like purchase something else instead, because also like you can see that like even when you're wearing a shop bought sweater that is made from acrylic or similar, like it gets these, I think it's called flint in English, I'm not sure, but like it gets these like tiny balls, and I think it's more common for I mean you can also get them from cotton, but like it's more common with that yarn, and like also get a lot of microplastic, which is not good. So I'm trying to avoid that. And also for like clothes, if you're creating wearables, something like cotton is more breathable. So even if it feels thick during summer, for example, for filing, okay, noted. Yeah, so during summer, like cotton, it might feel thick on your skin, but it still breathes more or less. But like imagine if you were wearing something that is acrylic, it makes you very sweaty, it doesn't breathe, and actually like even if you wear it during winter, it doesn't keep you warm either. So that's kind of like the reason. But like otherwise, the main reason for cotton, to answer your question, is that it has a natural look, at least in my opinion. Yeah. And it also doesn't have, like, when you're working on stitches, cotton doesn't make this like squeaky sound, I think. Maybe it's just me, but I've heard people saying that as well. You are welcome. Just let me know any other questions. Yeah, I didn't think that I will get this far with these rows. But like, I actually enjoyed it. Like, this live stream is like making me focused and motivated to get this done. But yeah, it was also quite tricky from my side to actually plan the timing that could work for everyone. So I tried to focus on timing that could work for like Europe. So my time now is 8:30 in the evening, and then I was thinking about US. So for you guys, it's like morning hours, like late morning. But yeah, it's hard to accommodate everyone, because I was thinking also about Australians, but if I wanted to do that, then it would, yeah, it's not possible. That's that. Yeah, I agree about cotton yarn. The stitches also feel more clear. Like I'm, like even though I'm double checking, it's easier to also like recognize what is what. But yeah, like the structure of cotton, it's easier to like understand like where you have to go through and so on. And like, to be honest, also that was like when I started doing crochet now, in the shop that I would buy my first yarn after like having done crochet only in like primary, secondary school, they mostly have cotton, mostly only cotton, to be honest. And like, it was for summer, and I was planning to create a bikini top, and I wanted to have something that is like not super thick, so definitely not using like a super thick wool yarn, but I was looking for something thinner, and they had cotton. So I just picked that one, and that particular shop is Sostrene. It's quite popular in Denmark or northern countries. Not sure actually they have shops like outside Europe, but yeah, they try to focus on like more organic eco things, more or less. I know that they also have like all sorts of different stuff, but like for cotton, for yarn, it's mostly cotton that they have. So almost done with this row. Yeah, I mean, also here, like that store in particular that I was talking about, it's more like a crafty store, so that might be a reason why they have different types. But also I think that like their own like branding. They don't have acrylic that much, but like otherwise, if I was going in like regular grocery stores where there is some yarn like once in a while, then it's also acrylic. But yeah. But yeah, I understand you about like I like buying yarn in person, like when I'm in the store myself and I can touch it and see it and like see the exact shade, because like sometimes it's tricky to also buy online because you don't see the actual shade. But yeah, like the tricky part about like the shades, it's also depending on the coloring lot that they have been in, because it could be the same color, but because it's been colored in different batches, it might come off like slightly different, and you might not notice it, and only when you have put these two colors together in the same project, that is when you can see that there's a different, like slightly different shade. But that's just one of those things, like they cannot color all of it at once, but it just happens. So that's like, if you're, even when you're buying in person, it's sometimes just nice to double check that they are coming from the same batch. That's a useful tip. Once happened with me, maybe twice. Oh really? Yeah, my first was cotton, at least like now that I'm like so into crochet, but like, yeah, I could imagine that it might be tricky. $77. Okay, I'm done with this row. So again, here I'm just placing another double crochet on top of fifth or fourth chain from this style post, like the first stitches or chains that we had in there, and just completing double crochet halfway through, so still having 2 loops on our hook, and that is where we are attaching new color. And here you can see that the next row is going to be this white one, and it's going to be single crochets. I trust myself, I won't double check, I know it. Sorry, I'm still coughing, so try to mute myself. Okay. Okay, so now that this color is attached, again, I can now complete this last stitch and just use the new color, like that. And now to start this new one, because we are going to work on single crochets, I'm just chaining one, and in this case, we will be adding single crochets on top of every single stitch. And because we are doing single crochets, in this case, we can just, like, this chain of one is not going to count as a stitch, so I will kind of just ignore it, and then adding one single crochet inside every single stitch that we have here from the previous row. And it's getting very messy here. I'm just wondering if I should go and grab my scissors, because I haven't cut off any yarn ever since, and it's slightly embarrassing. So maybe I should just get over with it and go grab scissors. Okay, I will be back in less than a minute. No, not minute, less than 30 seconds. Just 1 second. And I'm back. I grabbed my scissors. Okay, so now, yeah, because I forgot him and we have to change colors or add new yarn for every single row. I have so many yarns attached here that it's just starting to become like too crazy. So actually, like once you're changing color, you can cut it off. Like you can cut off the old yarn right away. So here I will just be cutting off the old ends that I don't need anymore, and just to clean up my work, because yeah, it's so messy. And also for this, like the smart thing to do would be to weave in all the loose ends like as you're working on this project, like right away. But I'm not doing that because that would mean that I have to weave in the loose end on every single row, meaning that on one side it would be on this side, and then on the other side it would be on the other side. And I'm still not sure like which side will be like inner part side of the panel, or which side would be the outer facing side, which is supposed to be the pretty one. So at the moment, that is like the reason why I'm keeping all the loose ends as they are, because I'm not sure where exactly these loose ends will be. So I will just have to struggle later on with weaving them in at the very end. Otherwise, it would have been much easier to just do it as we are adding these rows, but we can complain about that later. Okay, so now I have cut off all the loose ends. I only have one yarn attached, one color. So it's all clean now, it's not messy here. Probably it makes more sense for you as well. Okay, so this is where we are at the moment. I'm just working on single crochets here. So I have just started this row and adding one single crochet on top of every single stitch. Yeah, this the other thing that I was talking with my partner when like preparing for this stream was the setup. Like it's actually quite a scrappy one, so I hope that it's actually not looking that bad, but I think it's fine. But yeah, we were just talking that like another dream of mine, like in connection with crochet, would actually be to have like dedicated crochet room where I could have my own desk for like either for streaming or like even for like editing patterns, like yeah, like my digital corner of all this, and then like having a wall where I would have all my yarn laid out, following like each color. That would be so nice. Having some boxes and like some hangers and like things like that for like storing projects. But yeah, that's not so easy at the moment to have, but that would be so nice. I can see like both of us can feel that everything is just starting to pile up. Yeah, like I have actually like some pieces that I have made. I have managed to sell them, but like sometimes it's also so like hard to say goodbye to the project that you have made. Like I think like especially for like the content creation part of it, like if I give it away or if I manage to sell it, like no matter what, like it also means that I won't be able to create any content anymore with it. So that's one thing, of course, but like then you're also saying goodbye to something that like you have been like working so closely like for quite some time. So you like, I get attached to things like this. So in that sense, that's like one of the reasons why there are so many like crochet things around, because I just can't get rid of them. But like sometimes, to be honest, like that's also another cool thing about crochet, because it means that you're always the coolest with like creating so nice presents for others. Like sometimes, like when I have a birthday to go to, or like other celebration, or like even housewarming or something, I know that I can always make something as a crochet present. And some cases I already have something that I have made previously, so it works out quite well for me as well. But no, I mean, like people normally appreciate quite a lot. I'm getting close to finishing this single crochet row. And the last stitch. So again, so for single crochet, when doing it here, if I don't complete it all the way through, I have 2 loops on my hook, and this is where I'm changing color. So again, let's just double check what it is. So after this single crochet, we have double crochets with chain 1 spaces right after them. And what color is that? Yeah, for those who didn't join from the very beginning, the cool thing about this pattern or this project is that you're able to freehand it. But I was explaining that while you can freehand it, it's probably the most relevant for the very first panel, because then like at least in my case, I want the panels to be matching. So I want both arm panels to be matching, I want both front and back panels to be matching. That is why like first panel you're able to create just as free-handed, and then the remaining panels, that is where you kind of have to follow along and like look back of what you actually did to make sure that like you're creating this next panel in the same way with the same colors and the same stitches. But like of course you can go like completely wild and do something completely different. But I mean it will be easier to like here on the sides we will have to connect these panels together, so it will be easier to connect the side of this stitch with the same type of stitch. So that is kind of the main reason for that. So now we are working on double crochet, so starting with chain of 3, 1, 2 and 3, turning our work, and this chain of 3 counts as double crochet, and because of that we are skipping this first stitch that we have here, and then we actually also have to skip the next one, and for that we just have to add another chain. So chaining 1, skipping 1, so technically in the very beginning we are skipping 2, so 1, 2, and then in the next one just adding a double crochet. So easy. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. chain one, skip one, and again double crochet. So here I have added a couple of them, and you can see these nice gaps being created. And it's quite nice to see all these colors coming together. So still here, I'm working at the moment on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 row at the moment, and still we haven't had any colored application. So it's quite nice when you have like so many color shades that yeah, even with this many rows, I still haven't had like 2 of the same. And like only this time, this is the second time where we are repeating the same type of stitch. So we have had, this is our second row where we have double crochets with gaps in between them. So that is why this project is quite cool, and that is why I also thought that it would be an easy one to like follow along when I'm having a stream. But like I'm super open, like also to hear from you, like what kind of like if you're interested in having more of these streams, and if yes, then what would you like to crochet together? Because I was thinking about the granny squares. First I was thinking to do something for Valentine's Day, to try to recreate my heart granny square, but then it just came, like Valentine's Day came too quickly and I couldn't manage. And also this row is working up quite quickly. I'm almost like at the end. It's always like a lot faster with these gaps in the middle. So here I'm just comparing that I have the right distribution of stitches. Seems fine. Now I can start with the next one. And again for the next one, here I have this long one. So you can see this row, like it's not super long, but it is a lot longer. I believe that is double treble crochet. So with 3 yarn overs in the very beginning, I will just double check my notebook. Yeah, double treble crochet. So that just means that in the very beginning when working on the stitch, we will just have 3 times that we are yarning over. And I'm just gonna attach the new color. So this one is also going to be a new one. We haven't used this color or this shade. We have had some purple before, but not in this shade. So I'm just comparing that it is exactly the same one. Yeah, and you can see it's different a little bit from the previous ones that we have used. So I'm gonna attach this one, and this is again a slightly different stitch, but I also think that this will be our last row together. So any burning questions, then just let me know now, and we can chat for a bit more. But yeah, so again, attaching yarn in the same way, and then completing this last stitch like that. And then we can also cut off this old color that we used like that. Sorry, I'm just having some cough. But yeah, working on double treble crochet. So this one we want to start with 5 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this chain of 5 is going to count as 1 treble crochet. I mean 1 double treble crochet. And because it counts as that, we are skipping the first stitch, and in the next one we first yarn over 3 times, then go through this gap because we had chain 1 gap, then yarn over and pull through pairs of 2 like that. So yarning over 3 times, now going through the stitch, grabbing yarn, pulling up, and now we have 5 loops on our hook, and then yarning over, pulling through once, twice, 3rd time, and the 4th time like that. And we are creating again longer posts, and then just adding one of those inside every single chain space and on top of every single stitch. And again, like talking about muscle memory, here you just have to remember to do that yarn over 3 times, because like after having every single row done in a different way, it's easy to forget. But yeah, also this type of stitch, like similar to the treble crochet that we did before, you can see that in terms of length, like it gives you so much length compared to just having done like single crochet. Of course it takes longer to complete it, but like you can see the difference. And that's why it's fun, like to mix and match these stitches, because you can have one that it's shorter, but you can finish it faster, but then you also have like a longer stitch, but it gives you so much volume, but then again, like it takes longer to complete the whole row. But like this mix of colors and mix of different stitches, I think it's super fun. And this is how it looks so far. Yeah, I'm not sure actually if this camera is helpful and it's easy to see what I'm doing with my hands. Yeah, let me know. It would actually be super useful, like if you have some feedback on any of the cameras, because like I'm also at this stage like where I still don't want to invest too much in like having fancy like camera equipment, but like definitely for like recording videos it would be nice to have something that is like directly at the top, but I haven't like managed to figure out like or find like perfect solutions. So also if any of you like actually know or have some tips, let me know. But like at the moment this is the best I can do, but also curious to hear from you like how it is actually, because if it's fine, I'm fine with this. If it works for you, it more than works for me. I'll have some tea. I'm actually not like a super tea person. I literally only have tea like when I'm feeling or like getting a bit sick. And I think, yeah, that's like the reason why I don't drink it that much when I'm not feeling bad, because it just also associates with being a little bit under the weather. But like I'm more like a coffee person. That is like the coffee, like I'm the type of person who actually likes mornings. I like my morning coffee routine. I just like that feeling that you wake up, just have a chill start of the day, have your cup of coffee, just woken up, like having so much energy, or like maybe like not so much, but like you have more energy and you feel like it's a new day, you can start doing something new, maybe finish something that you have to finish. in that sense, I do like to get up early, because just by feeling more energized, you also feel like you can do so much more. But then the morning goes by like super fast, and you feel like, oh my god, it's already noon. But I feel like everyone has like different productivity levels, and this was something that I also had kind of like not like a course, but like as a lecture, where like if you work 9 to 5, there are very like few people who actually have like their productivity from 9 to 5. Like for most people, it's like within different hours throughout the day. So for example, in my case, I feel very productive in the very like early morning up until noon, and then like after lunchtime, my energy, of course, because of lunch probably, but like my energy slowly goes down, and then like yeah, starting from like 2 to 5, I don't feel productive at all. Of course, I have to do some work, and I will do it, but like I won't feel like super powered up. But then again, like I can feel my energy comes back like late in the evening, where I feel like I can again do stuff, and like I have like higher creativity level as well, where I come up with like ideas and stuff. But it's also a tricky time, because of course you have to go to bed again. But it's different for everyone. Like some people don't like mornings at all and feel like very useless in the morning, where others don't. So this is how it's looking so far, this row that I'm working on. So definitely quite a lot of volume still, like even though we are adding stitches on top of every single stitch, you can still have like some sort of gaps, just because they are quite long, so you still have like spaces in between. Yeah, quite a lot of volume with just this one row. Yeah, I also have some mental candy, so I'll just have some. But I promise I'm better. I'm much better than yesterday. And I'm a little bit over half now, I think, or like almost exactly in the half. Final row for this stream. And I think in total this is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is our 9th row. So definitely more than I thought that we would be doing. And these panels, actually, I will show you once I'm done with this one. I will show you how this these 9 rows compare to the the already finished panel, but yeah, we will probably be somewhere like 1/4 away. So also not that much for me left to do. And then I hope that I will be able to soon finish this top. On the side, I'm also recording like a separate video for explaining a couple of rows how to do them. So there will be also, like, besides this stream, there will also be a tutorial. And I hope that everything, like both of them, will be helpful. So if you're planning to recreate this, then that you will be able to. I'm just checking how this all looks. And I feel like this is also a nice project for, like, if you have a lot of like scrap yarn, then this is definitely your go-to, because then you're able to just go crazy and create every row like completely different. I'm just giving you some ideas to how to use your yarn in the most I don't know, let's say sustainable way, or like yeah, in a way that you know how to throw it out, because that's a shame. And I even feel like now I have given myself an idea about scrap yarn project. I do have like a box where I even keep like the shortest ends that I have, because I feel like maybe if at some point I will try to do some crochet animals or something, even then I could use like some scrap yarn to just fill it in. I have actually never tried creating a crochet animal or anything like that, but maybe I should try. But yeah, I do keep my my scrap yarn in a box just in case at some point, because I have had like a couple of cases where I have had some like tiny bit of leftover yarn, and then at some point later I'm working on a completely new project where I'm realizing I just miss like this much to finish like the final stitch. And then yeah, I was so happy to find that I do have like a little bit left of the same color that I can use for finishing. So never throw out yarn, like even for like in some cases also I think when I had to connect panels together or something, even then like I needed like specific color which I ran out of, and then like my scrap yarn saved me both compared to like other places from Copenhagen where I'm now at. Okay guys, here I'm just getting very close to finishing final stitches for this row. So I'm just working in those, and then I will also compare this this panel that I'm working on with the one that I have already created, just to double check the length, colors, and how much is left for me to finish off this panel so it's in the same length as the one that I have. Okay, so here I have my final stitch that I'm working on, and in this case I'm just making this end like loop super long so I don't get it unraveled. And here is what we have done during this live stream today, what I have done together with you. So you can see we actually did quite a lot. Like it is a bit time consuming, but like definitely I feel it's going faster than other projects. But I mean, I've been talking a lot as well. And here I have panel that is already done. This is actually arm panel, so it is a little bit like smaller. So let me just grab my other panel. So here I have the finished body panel, and just comparing it with the one that I'm working on. So yeah, this one in length they are matching. I feel like I have done first row a little bit tight, but it will just work out. But yeah, here I'm just putting both panels together, so hopefully you can see the difference. So here is the one that like the fluffy one that we are working on right now. So I would say we have completed like half or like fourth of this. So still a little bit left to do, and just to check the color and row distribution from this one, I can also just give you like a little bit of inspiration. So basically I'm trying to add in like gaps after like every third or even second or even fourth row. I have something where I have like chain one space in between. And actually I haven't tried it during this or through this panel, but you're also more than welcome to do like chain 2 spaces or chain 4 even. It's totally up to you, feel free to do that. But yeah, I'm changing colors as much as I want, and then just adding extra rows to build this length. I think in total I have 37 rows that I have for this panel, and actually also for the arm panels I'm doing the same amount of rows, so they are kind of like the same in the length, it's just the width that is changing. And yeah, it's up to you if you want the panel to be shorter or longer, you can add just more rows. Same applies also for arms. You're more than welcome to make them longer. But yeah, in total, you just have to keep on adding rows until you build the length that you are working on, and then you just have to make 2 equal panels for both, for front and back, and then also 2 panels for arms. And yeah, then I'm on the side working on creating like a proper tutorial where I will be connecting all of these panels together. So in case if you are also working on this type of top, and if you were working together with me on this project today, then you can catch me later on the actual tutorial where I will be also showing you how you can connect all of these panels together. So that will come. I will try to finish this video during next week or two, if I can. And then of course I have loads of other different ideas in my mind, on my couch, a lot of work in progress projects already. But yeah, thanks for joining. I had fun, tried something new. That's always good to do. And yeah, thanks for being here. And I hope to see you next time. Feel free to either message me directly, leave a comment on either on YouTube or somewhere else, and feel free to give me any sort of feedback that you have, and I will take that into account. And I'm also like curious to hear from you what kind of other streams you would like to see in the future. Same also applies for tutorial videos, if there are any special requests that you would like to have. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to your feedback. Also feel free to give feedback about like the quality of the stream. Was there something that was super off or whatever? Anyway, I'm talking too much already. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for your support. I was super happy to have you here. Didn't expect that many of you. But yeah, thank you. That was it from me today, and hope to see you soon again. And I will be out with some new creations soon. Thank you guys. Bye.